Every veteran has a story of sacrifice, courage, humor, and heartache. Each week, Veteran Story Hour captures these remarkable stories firsthand in the voices of those who've served. Recorded live from the weekly Friday brunch in the Salute of Virginia studio in Waynesboro, this is more than a podcast. It's a living history, preserving the legacy of America's heroes. You're listening to Veteran Story Hour, Voices of Valor, presented by Salute of Virginia. Let's begin. There's a room in Richmond, Virginia that has no harsh lights, no sudden noise. There's a mirror in the corner so a veteran can see the door. There are gaming rigs, microphones, cameras, controllers, and enough soft LED glow to make the place feel less like an office and more like a landing zone. They call it a bunker, which is funny because most bunkers are built to keep the world out. This one is built to bring people back in. That bunker lives inside T4T, a Richmond-based organization that takes technology and turns it into opportunity for veterans and their families. And under that larger mission lives GameCore, Jason Parker's world of gaming, streaming, Discord, community, and veteran mental health. Jason's mission with GameCore through T4T is called Aiming for Zero. Zero veteran suicides. Not a better number, not a smaller tragedy. Zero. In this conversation, Zach and I sat with Jason inside that bunker and talked about gaming, trauma, humor, Navy racks, purpose, survival, and why the thing most people blame for isolation might also be the thing that saves a life. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Parker.
That microphone's a little scrumptious.
Yeah.
I sound like my dog licking himself now. All right, I'm going to stop that immediately. He is passed out hard. But anybody that, so we have viewers right now on our Twitch, which is, welcome to GameCore. I'm sure we'll get into that, but we have at least 3 viewers right now, and they are very used to this is Hawk's nap time. Anytime we go live, there's a little doggy snore that emanates from just off camera.
That's excellent.
So they're used to it. Yeah.
Well, Jason, let's lead with GameCore.
Yeah.
So
please.
for our listeners, so right now we have the fortunate opportunity to be able to have Jason with us, and he's hooked us up with, this is going to be a video episode.
It is,
which is going to be awesome, right? Yep. It's abnormal for the normal listeners for Veteran Story Hour, and which means if you are used to just listening to this, right, via audio, pop over where you can be able to watch it on video. And if you have not yet, go ahead and head over and subscribe, give the podcast a rating. Spotify's not going to let you rate it unless you have listened to at least an episode. So go ahead and make sure you do that afterwards. But we're really appreciative of setting us up. And we are in what is called a bunker within the GameCore.
Yes. So
tell our folks, tell us a little bit about this bunker setup and where we're at.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to say thank you guys so much. I had the privilege of going to Salute last week and teaching the digital education class for some Vietnam era veterans, and that is always good stories come out of trials and tribulations, and so that class made for some really good stories, and I'm glad that I was there. But the thing that really spoke to me was John, you and I had a conversation as I was leaving. And I had no idea that you guys did an hour worth of buildup to my episode. So as I'm driving away and you sent me the podcast, I said, well, I have an hour and 20 minutes to kill before I get back to Richmond. I ran out of John Mayer songs to listen to, so I might as well just hit the podcast. I don't know why I said John Mayer.
It was an excellent pick.
It sure was.
Sure. And man, you guys did Tech4Troops and GameCore so much justice. I'm not sure I was worthy of that much of a buildup, but GameCore is a veteran oriented nonprofit that seeks to reduce and or eliminate the amount of veteran suicides to zero. Our program name, if that's what you want to call it, or our goal, our mantra is aiming for zero. To me, that is the only acceptable number of veteran suicides. I don't know if you were up on the numbers, and I know the numbers as of approximately 6 to 8 months ago, but it is around 22 veterans or military adjacent people that take their own lives every day. That's daily. That's alarming to me. And I'm one of those people. My story goes a little bit deeper. I am not only a recovering addict, and I'm very fortunate that when I was using opiates, fentanyl wasn't a thing, or I'm not sure I would be here. The world is a much scarier place now because of that.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I'm also a suicide survivor. So I felt specifically called to this because this is a struggle that has been very personal to me for at least the last 15 years.
So what gets you brought over to Tech4Troops, right? You're dealing with your own demons,
Yeah.
And that whole process. But that's a huge character arc.
Yeah. So the first thing that I have to throw in there, I use humor as a defense mechanism and a way to kind of disarm the situation.
I have not heard any veteran that has ever described that as a possible thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're, that's totally a curveball on the left.
Uh-huh.
I know. I have had conversations with people where they've pulled me aside shortly after the conversation started, and it was something to the tune of, I'm not sure you're treating this with the proper reverence that it deserves. And that's when I level with them, and I am treating this the only way I know how to get through the conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are incredibly personal. These things end up being a struggle that is a part of you that you've been waging for years, and however you can get through the situation, however you can manipulate it so that you're coming out on top and that you feel better, as long as you're not hurting anybody, then hell yeah, do it.
Yeah. You clearly fell into dabbling with technology, computers, speaking this language. There's no way that that's new.
No.
But then how do we get to the point? Because for me, right, is that the first thing I would think about if we're talking about mental health struggles, we're talking about addiction, we're talking about suicide prevention.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now, the very first thing I'm not thinking of is video games.
Sure.
Especially with a common topic that is coming up more and more now, which is the fact that the gaming and removing people from interacting in real life is actually perpetuating mental illness. Like there's this, you know what I mean? There's this conversation, and I love the contrast, which is like actually, but.
Sure. There's a Simpsons quote that I love, and it's he's being interviewed on Nightline or something, and the lady says, "Mr. Simpson, how is it that crime has gone down by 200%, yet violent beatings with sacks of doorknobs has gone up 400%. And Homer says, people can make up numbers to prove anything. 37% of the people know that. And yeah, that's kind of what I feel when it comes to those numbers.
Yeah.
People see what they want to with the numbers. And in a time, in an era where our computers are constantly amalgamating every statistic that we have, Our supercomputers that are in our pockets are tracking every last thing that we do. I can pick and choose whatever numbers I want off of your phone to prove any point
Right.
that I want to prove.
Totally.
If you've ordered DoorDash in the past 2 days, I can argue that, oh, the cooking for yourself has gone to hell. This guy 50% of the time in the last 2 days has ordered out, and now he lost the ability to fend for himself if he were to go into the wild. Yeah, okay, we all know that's not true, but we all know that if I want to prove a point, I can find the numbers to do that. And I think that we are looking at a time where the people that make the decisions when it comes to what treatment should be, what treatment should look like, what treatment will be perpetuated to take people to the next echelon of care, those people aren't necessarily, they don't have all of the facts. They don't have all the data when they're making these decisions, because these are people that will look at a video game. And one of the hangups that I've had from some higher ups in the military, they called it pornographic violence. And okay, I see where you're coming from, but on the other hand, you have no frame of reference for this game other than someone else telling you it is bad.
Right.
Or someone has come to you and said, I have a problem with this game and I can't put it down. It's not that you have come to make your own educated decision about this. You've come to this game already biased against it, and you're looking for a reason. You may be looking out for veterans, or you may be looking out for the group that's playing it, but I feel that you've made up your mind and you're going in that to push your agenda.
Yeah.
Where I personally, I'm not a Call of Duty player. Now, have I played it? Yeah. Do I enjoy the zombie mode? It is a good time. I have a Jay and Silent Bob skin that I like running around as. I think it's hilarious. And the group camaraderie that comes from 4 or 5 of us getting together on the server. I mean, I love that nonsense. It's pure shenanigans.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel good. Now, there are other people, and I never was able to reconcile this in my own head, but so I've been deployed. I've been deployed a total of about 7.5 years, and I have been in situations where we've gone on patrol or we went on movement and we were gone for the better part of 12 hours or 15, 16 hours. And we come back, we offload, and we go about what we're doing. And some of those guys that were just on patrol have now sat down and are playing Call of Duty.
Sure.
And what the hell are you doing, bro? We just got done doing this to a much lesser extent where there is not action, all of the time, and there is not so on and so forth. Well, I, after talking to a lot of people, being in group therapy with a lot of different guys, and kind of observing the way they approach these games from a point of view where I'm more interested in why they're doing it, not from a point to judge them. I mean, it's the thing that never occurred to me that has occurred to me since is that these guys are putting themselves in that position. But the thing that has 100% changed is that they go from being potentially the victim to absolutely, without any doubt whatsoever, being in control. If they are upset by that situation, there is nothing preventing them from hitting the power button and walking away. And that's something that option was not presented. If they were on patrol even a couple hours ago,
Right.
that wasn't an option that was there. And the other thing that really it made an impression with me, there's always going to be that aspect of not knowing when you're going through this stuff in life. When it comes to a video game, contact is going to happen. You know the shots are coming.
Right.
You're not going to have to wait longer than 2 or 3 minutes, because that's what the game developers do. They need to keep you engaged. And so again, the two good reasons to go back and play Call of Duty, because you're reliving maybe not the exact same environment, but an environment close enough to something that you've been through that you're now in control of, that you can say, enough, I've had enough, off it goes. And then you can go play Animal Crossing New Horizons, or even better, you can go outside and you can make fun of some dude because he's running with a high visibility belt wrapped around the wrong limb, or whatever,
Whatever you do in real life.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in real life.
Well, I mean, I think going back to like what you were talking about with the different, like going through group therapy. So now you have all of these people now understand and see that like gaming isn't a bad thing. You're now getting more publicity in that avenue, and you have different agencies, however you want to refer to it, because like American Legion has Legion Gaming. And then like
combat tested gaming.
Yeah, and then like the VFW has a gaming thing also.
Oh, I'm sorry. The VFW is combat tested gaming. Legion is the other one. Yeah.
And so like now you have those groups recognizing, hey, this is actually helping veterans, or this is helping people. So what do we need to do now? And I think you guys with Game Core are doing a good job at bringing that in and bringing awareness to that and showing like this actually is a good thing.
Well, and so the listeners of Veteran Story Hour that have listened to episodes with me before will know that I'm not a veteran, right? So I'm a civilian.
You got the beard of one.
I pass off with the look for sure.
To those of you watching the first video podcast of the Veteran Story Hour, check out John's beard. It's something special.
I am proud of it.
You should be.
I hit the genetic lottery when it comes to beard growing.
It's a Viking beard.
It makes me proud of my Germanic roots for sure. But for me, it was when I went to college, right? I'm from California, right? So I'm a Southern California kid. I went to Florida, and when I got to Florida, right, I don't know anybody, and I have teammates, right? You have teammates that are on a football team, but you're doing football. That's what you're doing. And when you leave those team environments, you are now isolated.
Yeah.
And when you don't have family around, you're really, really isolated.
Oh, yeah.
And so that isolation is where we found, right? This is original Xbox 360's just coming out, right? And then all of a sudden you start talking to some guys that are part of the team, but they're also total huge dork nerds that love Halo 2 just like you.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you want to do dork nerd shit together, like at the house and setting up LAN parties and doing and so it caused a whole nother level of connection,
so
right?
That was absolutely my favorite part of the first part of the episode, where you discussed how everyone is absolutely nerdy for something.
Oh, autism, man. We have got the tism for something, and we all get super judgy, especially I'm an abnormal kid because I was raised in a Catholic school that then went to a public school who knew no one, so I was adopted by the Goths. So I immediately became goth because that's what you do when all your friends are goths. Yep. But then I just kept growing. So I'm 6'5", 240 pounds.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden now I'm adopted by all the jocks.
Yeah.
So I have this super, super abnormal ability to flow from the absolute freaks of every high school situation who are my people.
Right.
And also I'm able to now interact with jocks. And what I found is we get really, really judgy, but we're super cool. We get judgy about like dork shit about having autism about it. And we're all going to throw those kids into a locker. But we're totally cool if we're absolutely gay for the Steelers.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Like it's so sports is okay. Sports is totally fine to have autism, to know to wear a grown man's jersey.
Yeah. The dress.
And to know his stats and what are you playing Halloween? And we're totally cool with that. So that's why for me was always any of that, having any of those opinions of like feeling less than because somebody's really fucking into Mario Smash Brothers or they want, whatever it is.
Hey, don't be hating on the Smash Brothers.
Again, I'm not.
Popular multiplayer.
Hands down. And so that's my point. My point is that 100%, you just pick your tism.
Yeah.
and just be respectful of the fact that, like, yeah, okay, dude, my tism ain't yours, babe. And that's okay.
I love what I love, and a large part of me gets a lot of joy sharing what I love with people. A really good example of it is a good friend of mine, Brian, who you just met. And now let me tell you a little something about Brian that may impress you guys. He is internationally ranked in Fortnite. He has his own show on our channel Wednesdays from 6 to 8. And this dude has, and I've watched him single-handedly wiped out Fortnite lobbies of 100 people or more, not paying attention while trying to tell me something about how to play the game, has wiped out everyone to the point where I can't get a kill because he takes them.
Right.
He and I were talking yesterday, and he recently just got really, really hardcore back into reading. And I love that because, of course, as an addict, I have problems with moderation. When I do something, I do everything about it.
All in.
Yeah, I have no speed other than all in, full bore.
Yeah.
But in the past 4 years, spending my life in front of a screen and really bringing GameCore to fruition and to make it successful, I have begun to really cherish my time away from the computer, the time that I do go outside and go for a walk with my dog, or simply hang out on the porch and commune with nature, if you want to say. I'm that little bit of moderation has really, I feel like it's begun to balance me. And so I'll always advocate for that for someone else. And Brian coming to me and saying, oh, well, you know, I'm getting back into reading. And one of my favorite books, and I got this book by a friend during my first deployment. I was a bosun mate in the Navy. If you don't know, they deal with ships operations, driving small boats, that kind of stuff. And I was on the USS Ashland during my first deployment. And right after I got this book, we ran into some series of storms where it was 25 feet or higher waves. And this means that boat was rocking. And so at that point, they secure you in your rack. They say, just go to your rack, strap yourself in, and hang on.
And when you say strap yourself in, we're talking like just what, like a insane asylum strap?
There's two canvas. So it's a coffin locker is what it's called.
Okay.
And it is 6 feet long. So for you and I, how tall are you?
5'9".
Okay. So you were just on the threshold of being able to fit.
Yes.
You slide in there. For me, my shoulders are wide enough that I could not roll over while in there. I would have to get out, flip over, and then get back into the bunk.
This is why I didn't go in the Navy, right here.
So if I put my elbow on the mattress, the tip of this finger touched the ceiling of my rack.
Yeah, so you're talking like 14 inches of clearance, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And then so underneath, there's about 6 inches worth of space where all of your stuff is. So
okay.
you pile all your stuff in there. Then you close the rack, and then there's a small flame retardant mattress that smells like death and skunks. Even if they're brand new, they still smell like.
Yeah, it's how they're made.
Yeah.
It's because they're flame retardant.
Yeah. They're made of pure asbestos. That's why everybody's got mesothelioma now. So they put you in there, and on maybe about knee level and one about elbow level, there's 2 thick canvas straps that you can attach on the outside, and that keeps you from rolling out.
This sounds like a great time. I'm surprised they don't put it like in the marketing materials of like, hey, honestly, this could be you.
I mean, the choice is be strapped in your rack doing something like reading a book, or be out working.
Right.
I mean, we had been deployed for the better part of 7 to 8 months. So I don't know, a mandatory 3-day nap wasn't the worst thing that's ever happened, but it does get boring.
Holy smokes.
I
But-
just imagine somebody with a frying pan and an egg in it and it just sliding around and then you just like tipping it and sliding it on the plate.
So my favorite thing to do, and this is going so far off topic, but so the USS Ashland was a dock landing ship, meaning there's LCACs or landing craft air cushion or hovercraft that go into the back of it, into the well deck. So the USS Ashland sinks the back half of it and floods the well deck. The hovercraft fly into it, then it closes up its back gate and then comes back out of the water.
That's the shit that's on the marketing materials right there.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
No, it's cool as hell. And when I was in, we had the 26th MEU, a Marine detachment, a commo Marine detachment, and they came on board the ship, and what they would do was load all their stuff onto the hovercraft. They'd go to the beach, and so we were the ones deploying that MEU to the beach. When the Marines left, there's a whole lot of open space in that well deck.
Sure.
There's what they call a truck tunnel, which is about 2 stories tall. And then truck tunnel comes down. There's a big turntable, and then it turns around and goes into the well deck. So you can drive Humvees and tanks from the helo deck down and around, down into the well deck. Now the turntable works, and the turntable is about 3 stories tall. So you've got stuff around it. So if you're driving and there's not enough room to turn the truck, you can drive it onto the turntable.
Spins
it for you, and then you drive down. Well, when you get the ship rocking and rolling on these seas, what it'll do is it'll go up and crest onto the wave. And as it starts to go down, if you jump as it goes down, then you'll clear a story and a half, 2 stories. So what we would do is we would wait till no one was watching or everyone was supposed to be asleep, and we'd line it up where there'd be 1 or 2 sets of stairs, and you could jump all the way up over a deck or 2 decks like Superman. It might be the most fun I had in the Navy. Of course,
That's what needs to go in the promo video.
That's exactly it.
It's the most fun. Of course, the things that they don't show you is when a random wave hits and all of a sudden it comes up to greet you a lot faster, or it rolls to the side and all of a sudden you were midair and then you're careening towards the wall, and it can go very bad very quickly.
Yeah.
So I received a care package in the mail, and in that care package was the book American Gods. And it's to date my favorite book. It deals with how we are a country of immigrants, and when we came to America, we brought our gods with us,
Right.
like the gods that we worshipped in Europe or in India or wherever you're from. But
Sure.
as we got to America, we kind of lost that faith. We kind of forgot about them, and we moved on, and we created these new American gods of the highway, money, drugs, TV, all of these other things. And it goes on to the new gods are sick of these old gods hanging around and taking up that little bit of belief that they could have. And the old gods are tired of not being powerful anymore. And they're like, we used to have wars fought in our name, and now people are obsessed with I Love Lucy. This is not cool. So this book is about them going to war with each other. And just being able to give that book to Brian and be like, this is something that I love, and I want to share that with you. And the conversation that comes out of that being able to share that thing that is special to you, the thing that you're nerdy for.
Yeah.
It's such a connection point, and it may be something as simple as reading a book that someone else has read, or playing a video game with someone or that somebody else has played, but it brings about such a connection.
Well, it's an incredibly vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like it's because when you can honestly look at somebody and share, I like this, and you're willing to kind of put it out there, you were willing to put out, which is, dude, they're going to make so much fucking fun of me right now. Like and it's like, no, I really like this. And it's coming from such a place, and it is. And that ties us back into exactly what I was describing, which is for me that isolation and being able to then find people, which is, hey, I'm autistic for this thing. Do you like this thing too? And now you get to have, it's like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Where all their autisms come together to make one big autism.
Make a
mechatism, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. And that's where, for me, that would be the argument. And I've heard this argument, even within the populations that are really fighting against social media, fighting against video gaming for young men, fighting against all these different pieces. I have seen them actually draw lines in the sand, even backed by the research, which will show it's gaming that leads to deeper isolation is one thing. But if you can use that gaming to come together into a community, that's where we don't see the same risk.
Right.
And so that is what I love so much about, you've got Discord, we've got Twitch, right? We've got all these things that allow us to connect with our people, whether I was deployed, I met brothers and sisters in the service that are now, but now we're all back home. We're back in North Carolina, we're back in New York, we're back in California, we're back in fucking Des Moines, right? Wherever it is. So we're back to isolated again.
Des Moines.
Yeah, fucking Des Moines. Sorry for all the Des Moinesians. But the idea for me is like, okay, that allows that connection. But then, and so you're not suffering from that true isolation, but because those were your people in real life to begin with, and now you're able to find that community where you may not have a really strong veterans community.
Yeah.
Because there is an element that I will never appreciate and understand, but I understand it to a degree, which is if people want to talk to me about college football all day long as soon as that they learn that I played college football.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're only going to get so far with me.
It's because they've never had that experience.
You don't know. I can tell you, but you don't know. And I hear that get shared so often, especially from, we had Jim Wood on the podcast several episodes ago, and just talking about from his perspective, which is being a combat veteran. And it's just like, I can only share so much.
Right.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that means that's very isolating.
Yeah.
Once you're back and once you're alone. And to try and land this plane a little bit, for me, it is the fact that you're taking this phased approach, whether it was by design from the get-go, but this is a phased approach from isolation to now in real life community building and coming out of the cave a little bit on your own terms when you're ready to come out of that cave. And that's these bunkers.
So what you're seeing is very intentional. I have coined the phrase, to me, it's the suicide spiral, because these things, when it starts on that downward trajectory, it absolutely begins picking up speed, and each thing kind of piles into the next, creating this, just the momentum and the force at which it starts to further and further slide down. But it really does start with isolation. And then I see it, and the way I have seen it go and the way I've experienced it go is it goes to isolation, to chemicals to cope with that in some way. Then it moves on to financial problems. Typically the chemicals become a problem with that. And then because of the financial problems, your housing becomes uncertain as that can go. And then becomes the crisis. Well, now I'm dependent on this chemical. I don't have anybody to help me, and I don't have anybody to even bounce the bad ideas off of.
Right.
Pretty soon, I'm not going to have a roof over my head to which to think about the bad ideas, or even a place to go when I've obtained the chemicals. I might as well just end things now. And that's your crisis. And the problem that I see is that most people that want to intervene choose to intervene in crisis. Well, you're intervening in crisis when you could have stepped in so much earlier. And it's easier to stop a car rolling forward when it's going a mile an hour
Yeah.
versus getting in front of it and putting your hands out when it's doing 50.
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, the old sports analogy of everybody wants to be a Monday morning quarterback. And so there's only so much you can do. You can't undo damage once it's been done after the fact. You can only prevent it by doing other things.
Right.
And so, like, you know, you're talking about isolation and having like your niche in things. Well, so people look at us as men specifically, like we're supposed to go out and do all this like super macho manly shit.
Sure.
That's like our job because we have a dick and testicles. We're supposed to go do all this super cool manly stuff.
Oh, is that?
That wasn't in the manual?
that-
They didn't give you that manual when you came out?
Yeah, right.
I'm going to need a photocopy of that.
And so, like, for people, like, they don't understand that just because a person does something different doesn't mean there's something wrong with them.
Oh, yeah.
They just assume and base everything off of what you're supposed to do instead of like, oh, no, I game and that's fine. Yes, I can go out here and live on Survivor for 10 years and not need anything, but none of that matters because I game. So this automatically puts me in like a different category just because I do this one little nerdy thing, even though you do 100 other macho things.
And it is. It isn't that interesting, right? It isolates, but almost like it's selective isolation that then gets done to the individual that is like, I like doing this thing. It's like, well, that makes you stupid, and we don't like you.
Yeah.
So now you're isolated, and what it ends up doing is it cuts off the ability to be any type of rounded individual
It
at
does
all.
pigeonhole you.
Yeah.
to a
But
point.
you also don't want that. Also creates more isolation for you because now you understand that, okay, well, people judge me because I'm playing video games. So now I don't tell people that.
Yeah.
And then so now you're missing out on other connections you might have that could possibly stop the car rolling at a mile an hour because you don't tell people the car's rolling.
And we suck across the board. Like, and I guess I need to get more specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Everyone, you
do.
suck.
You suck. No, we suck as a society across the board for anything preventative.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking from preventative medicine to preventative to taking care of your body so that it doesn't break down, and then you need to go and have to be able to go to the doctors and have all these problems. Like any type of prevention, we're awful at.
Yeah.
And it's such an interesting thing for you to say. It's like, dude, why didn't you catch me before?
Yeah.
And
It's because we're all involved in what we're
our
doing.
own things.
Yep.
And no one looks at like the rest of the world as to what's going on in the chair next to you, in the office next to you. You know, you could work in an office of 50 people, and I would almost guarantee you in Vegas that you could walk down the hallway and you couldn't tell me 5 things about 3 of those people.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's the most common greeting we give. Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
How fucking dare you if you actually tell me what's actually wrong?
Oh, yeah.
You better be that it is fantastic, it's great, and if you dump your shit on me, don't think for a second that I don't have problems too, motherfucker, and I need to get to the store. I'm merely acknowledging your presence. I'm not actually interested in how you are. So
Just tell
go
me
about
good and move
your
on.
business.
Yep.
Just tell me good and move on.
I'm telling you I'm good because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Say. And it's compounded for sure, back to the dick and testicles, is that it is, no, you need to be a fucking dude about this and fucking deal.
Yeah.
There's something when we first started that I hadn't heard the term phrase before, so I want to take credit for it. If you hear it someplace else, then I guess
They
it's
got it
not
from you.
mine, whatever. Oh,
Yep.
or okay, yeah,
Yeah.
they got it from me.
Yeah.
Trademarked by Jason.
So I was a medic in the Army, and one of the most important things that they drill into you, and really in anybody that serves, triage is the most important thing that you can do. If somebody is hurt, you need to figure out how they're hurt and the order in which you're going to treat them. If you have a paper cut and your leg is missing, I'm not going to treat you first.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. I'm going to try and save him. We will get to your paper cut. I believe there's such a thing as mental health triage. I think there are people that just need to hear, yo, what's up, man? You good? And that's all they need. They just needed to know that somebody acknowledged them, somebody cares they exist, and they move on. Whereas there's other people that need a new prescription and need to sit down and talk for 5 hours and need a licensed professional because they're going through some shit.
Yeah.
And we're not on that level. They need that level of care. But that's where the triage part comes in. It's like I said, somebody just needs to hear what's up versus somebody that maybe needs an inpatient stay.
And they feel comfortable enough to be that next step vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I have a 15-year-old son, and we're working with him on some of these fundamental skills when it comes down to, dude, so our rule in our house, for better or for worse, is that we don't fuck with girls. We're only going to date women.
I like that. That's nice.
For me, I was a young man who loved girls a whole lot, and dude, they were a fucking nightmare to deal with when they were trying to figure their shit out.
Yeah.
And I did a lot better when I started dating. By the time I hit 17, I looked 27, so I could date much older women, and they were so much better to deal with.
Yep.
So I'm trying to bestow that in a very early age, right? I have 3 sons, but my oldest, for him, he sees everybody dating, right? That's 15.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it is, dude, we need to get you to where you are working on yourself enough to make you interesting enough to attract a woman when we get to that point.
Yeah.
But the way we practice this now is you need to be able to not be a fucking weirdo just talking to other dudes. We've got to practice just talking, engaging with people, being put into a situation where, Jason, I don't know you. And we are going to talk, and we're going to talk like regular human beings to get to know each other, ask questions, find things that have similarities, and be able to build a rapport from nothing. And I said, and if you get good enough at that, then you won't be so nervous about talking to a girl, because that doesn't mean you're dating just because you're talking to her.
Right.
And we're going to slowly step into this because we're building up this skill set.
Yeah.
And I love that idea of just this triaging opportunity to be able to then come in, engage, and start to practice.
Yeah.
And it is this practicing, but it is a level of vulnerability.
Oh, absolutely.
And you have to feel, which is the way you get more comfortable getting out of that spiral, is that, hey, can I tell you about a book I really like?
Yeah.
Because now we've just taken another level deeper. Instead of, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
It's, I have a game that I really like. I have a book that I really like. Do you want to go to the movies?
Man,
I love Kung Fu.
Have you
Right?
you tried to ask another guy just to hang out or go to the movies anytime in the last 10 years?
Like, dude, I'm married. I don't know what you're talking
experience.
Like, whoa, stop talking to me, bud.
Yeah, I always try to like preface it with like, look, man, I'm not trying to be weird, and I'm not homosexual.
I'm not trying to get into your pants.
I'm not.
Right.
Would you like to go have a beer and watch a movie? And just the fact that it's become so that it's awkward to say that.
For sure.
I mean, I feel like we're on the right track and we're doing the right thing if this causes discomfort doing this, because pushing forward and doing the right thing is never going to be comfortable. It's never going to be, it's never going to feel easy.
That's what I told my wife. Sorry.
That is what she said.
No, and I 100% agree with you. My wife and I, we will go on double dates with couples, and it's not often, and we don't have a lot of people that we do it with. But my wife always talks about the courting time period that starts to happen. It's exactly how she refers to it as, which is like, I hate couples dating. I hate couples dating because for her, she has to take the girl's role, and my wife is not a girly girl.
Yep. I
Luckily
know what you mean.
for Zach and I, we both married women that hate other women. And so it makes them a lot of fun, but also causes a lot of friction when other females show up.
There can be some strife there.
There is, because they hate them on a fundamental molecular level.
Well, that's what happens when you marry women and then they have to go associate with girls.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
It's exactly what it is. But it is this courting period, which is like, yeah, but it's what causes your roots to set so deeply in communities that you live in. And speaking of old gods, right? There used to be structures and systems that existed that put you in a place with other people where you may not all have the same interest across the board, but you had an interest that all put you in the same building. And that was typically called church.
Yep.
And as we got disconnected from churches from one reason or another, and I've been on my own personal journey with that as well, as most people do. But then you have to find another mechanism that allows you to now be put into a place that can be safe, that get a bunch of people together to be able to talk to each other, have a singular point of interest like gaming.
Yeah.
But what types of games? Doesn't matter. My favorite part of your entire thing was you went from Call of Duty to Crossy Road.
Yeah.
Or no, you didn't say Crossy Road. You said
Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
You're very close.
Excuse me.
You're very close.
Amateur.
Shit, I'll go play Wordle. It doesn't matter what you play.
And that's the point, right? It is, and that's where it is, because it is a domino effect, and we are now spiraling in the right direction, right? We now have probably the better analogy or metaphor is it's a vortex that now pulls you up out of that, because we're going to spiral down into an eventual pit of absolute despair and darkness that we all know where you end. But if you can start stacking these wins, that alternative movement starts to happen, where you now start to tornado up and out of that, because one thing leads to another. It starts with gaming, then it's, do you want to grab a beer? Yeah. Hey, we're going to go do a retreat. Hey, we do a hunting retreat out in West Virginia. Do you want to go do that?
Right.
And now all of a sudden you are being given the permission to not just be a nerd, not just be a veteran. And that's probably one of the things that I think I appreciate and I envy the most out of the entire veteran community. There's no, hey, you were a former college football player community and you're now all washed up and you don't do that anymore. And you want to hang out.
There's
because
no t-shirts for that?
There ain't no t-shirts for that.
I mean, we can make one.
Amen. But I envy that, because there is a thing for the rest of your lives that binds you to, no matter whoever you bump into, there are symbols and there are insignias that cause a connection that's so deep, no matter where you are in the fucking world. And I think that needs to be the superpower, and that is the superpower that you are harnessing with this, which is our foundation is veterans, and we are now going to take you one more step towards the light, which is gaming, which then allows us to keep stepping and keeping you away from the darkness.
And I think that is what ultimately is the very positive part for GameCore. When you spoke earlier about people saying, oh, well, GameCore is using these things that people typically have a problem with, this video game, or we look at people with video game addictions or. Yeah. Really, I think it's about the focus and where you put that focus. If you are a part of GameCore simply because of the game, and the game is all you're taking out of it, then
you're missing something.
You're missing most of it.
Or you're at level 1.
Yeah. Or you're just at the introduction part.
Yeah.
The focus of all of this really is the veterans and their families at the heart of it, and how we're using the games that they were already playing that had the potential to isolate them, to do absolutely the opposite of that, pull them together.
Oh yeah, now you're building those connections, and now you can reach out and touch people, you know, like the bunker you're starting in Oregon. Yeah. So now you're in Virginia, but you can now play the same game at the same time as somebody across the states.
Absolutely.
Yes, Jason, tell us about these bunkers.
Okay, so these bunkers are physical spaces for the virtual space that we've already set up. So the virtual space exists on Discord and on Twitch. I'm sure we'll put the links for the Discord and for the Twitch
Definitely.
in there. Please follow us on Twitch. If you can subscribe, please do that. You do get one free subscription a month if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber. And if you use that subscription with GameCore, then Uncle Jeffrey gives us $7.99 for that month. And we use 100% of that because we are a 501c3. 100% of that comes to us that we use to further the mission. The ad breaks that are taken on Twitch, that money does come to us as well. Again, that is turned to the mission. Discord is where we really do the majority of our mental health work, of work with the community, conversations, group chats, that kind of thing. And Discord is like a bulletin board system mixed with Skype, mixed with AOL Instant Messenger. It kind of
Nicely done.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That covers our entire listenership.
Right.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is I remember all of these things.
As an individual.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I built this, built the Discord, and we gained over 1,000 members. That's what you need to be publicly searchable. So now, and one of the strange things that this world has presented to us is there are a lot of people that are considering harming themselves, that Google how to do it and what to do it with and where to do it, or whatever the case may be. And by being publicly searchable, we've kind of gamed the system where if you start typing these things in and you include the phrase veteran or something like that, it'll say, oh, we get what you're going for. Maybe we should have a talk about this first. We don't want to just, because know it or not, there's a kit that you can buy for $38 on Amazon that will end your life, and they will next day ship it to you.
We are not linking to the kit.
Absolutely not.
I always said you could buy anything you want on Amazon.
And
there you go.
They will help you with that. Another thing that I believe is awful, I don't have the words for it, but AI is meant to be agreeable.
Yeah.
And there's been numerous cases lately where somebody will say, I'm thinking of ending it. And the AI will reply, yeah, go for it, man. You should. I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of lawsuits popping up on that.
F you directly if that's, like I said, I don't have words for that.
Yeah.
I think computers and technology can be such a positive tool. And I think they're bringing us together in ways that we can't conceive of. But for that to be one of the outliers, or for that to be one of the things that happened out of left field, it makes me very angry. I feel let down by technology in that case. Yeah. And maybe I'm projecting some of my feelings onto it, sir. And I definitely feel very strongly about the good that GameCore can do. So AI doing things like that is, I'm personifying it way more than I should be. But we do have these locations where if you do start to feel and get in your head where you need an external source to kind of pull you out of that, we have these physical spaces now. And really proud of them. They are called bunkers, as in they are safe spaces. As you can see, the video stream's coming from Bunker 0 right now. And we started with a room that would be comfortable, and lighting, sound, all of that would be agreeable to somebody with PTSD or brain injuries. So if you look, we have no direct lighting in here. Everything is low-key LEDs coming in from the sides. So no fluorescence, nothing that's going to trigger a migraine or anything, and no pulsing, pounding lights happening. Everything is very calmly lit. And we can go ahead and with the push of a button, all the lights can be lowered or turned off. And of course, all the sounds that come through here, we do have a volume cap on stuff. So if there's any explosions that would happen in the TV, it tops out at, I think, volume 33 or whatever. It's not loud enough to startle someone. So we've already made the environment more agreeable to those that might have a problem with it. We even put a large corner mirror for whoever's sitting in the desk there. You know, vets do not like people walking up behind them. So we made it very possible for you to see who's coming. And then we went ahead and we added the systems. So we have a media creation station. All bunkers do have that, and that is a computer with a little extra horsepower as far as video editing goes. And they have some upgraded stuff, an upgraded mic, a really nice webcam or recording camera, and that's to make video podcast, audio podcast, and a way for veterans to share those memories with other vets, with their families as the time may come. Then we have at least two. We have 2 streaming and gaming rigs for vets in Bunker 0. This is the least amount that we have. We have bunkers. So we have 5 bunkers up and running around the United States right now. The furthest one away is in Yucca Valley, California. That is on a veteran service organization called Rescue Residents. Rescue Residents, one of my favorite VSOs besides Salute. The reason they are so cool. So it's run by Daniel Ballou. This place, they take homeless veterans, they go to auctions and buy used ambulances, bring them to the ranch that they're at, then with the veterans' help, turn that ambulance into a tiny house. That gift it to the veteran.
That rules.
I respect that.
It is so cool. The reason they use ambulances is A, they have hookups for running water in them. Ambulances have water.
Yep.
They have in compartmentalized generators, so it can be up and running the house without having to have the engine running. And they have a whole bunch of exterior storage, so you can store a lot of the different things. After you have built your ambu home, ambiome.
I like ambi home.
Ambi home. Yeah, that's what we'll go with. Over the next few years, you work with them, you locate a job, you kind of move if you have to with the job. And after you've secured a new place to live, you can either turn your ambi home over and gift it to the next veteran who will kind of update it and move on with it, or you can continue living in your ambi home. But what we've done is we've put 6 gaming stations inside the halfway house that they have there, where the residents stay until their ambi home is up and running and set for them. And during the day, I'm not sure if you guys were aware, but Tech for Troops gives military members, veterans, active duty, anything in between, and their families access to over 10,000 free courses. These are courses that result in certifications all the way from OSHA hazmat training to learning Python, or learning the Adobe suite of services, or learning how to be a better HR professional.
Nicely done.
Yeah, thanks. During the day, they can go ahead, they can take those courses, kind of certify themselves for the next step of their life. And then at night, we have the streaming schedule up there on the board. We have tournaments that go. We have our esports team that plays Rocket League, and they join in for that during the night. So that's our Yucca Valley, California location. We have another one that is at VFW Post 6364, which is a couple miles from here. And even tomorrow, we'll be doing family game night, where if you've ever heard of Jackbox Games.
Oh, yeah.
So we do trivia night. We do a virtual and in-person hybrid. We have about 40 people that jump on a Discord room and they play online. While last time we did family game night at the VFW, they had a hot dog bar, Sunday bar, karaoke, and
all
we
the
had
staples.
25 people there playing trivia with the other 40 that were online playing. So, I mean, we definitely take the bunkers and still have them interacting with the virtual part.
That's very cool.
One of the ones I'm most proud of, Poplar Springs Mental Health Facility, is a United Health Services mental health facility in Petersburg. We've put the first game therapy room bunker in there for veterans in the continental United States, possibly the world. I have not heard of another one. So very, very proud of what we've been able to do, and that the veterans are getting something out of it there in Petersburg. At
See, it is a good thing.
There's no question. There's no question.
Absolutely.
It's in a mental health facility. It is a good thing.
Yep.
It's growing, right? And it's going to keep growing. You were telling us as you took us on a tour of the whole facility here for Tech for Troops, and it's really impressive because this is just one of the legs that is the stool, right, of Tech for Troops, which is Game Corps, and it was really impressive being able to go around. But one of the things that impressed me most was that the entire organization itself started in a room half this size.
Yeah, that's a very tiny room.
That you said like was just 14 years ago.
Yeah, 14 years ago.
And so it's exponential growth. Now, when did Game Corps come online in the world of Tech for Troops?
Approximately 4 years ago. Like when I was talking with you guys earlier, I have been here a little over 4 years. So I came to, or a little under 4 years. Yeah. So I came to Tech for Troops in May. So this May or end of May coming up, we'll make it 4 years. I was here for about a month where I cycled through. I took apart computers as part of the recycling effort to keep e-waste out of landfills.
And that was like the nice folks that we saw today?
Yep.
That were doing that same exact gig. That's where you started.
I started there. I was there for about a week. And I'm pretty open about my mental health diagnoses, just so if somebody else has similar problems, I consider myself a success at what I'm doing. So if you have autism and ADHD and bipolar disorder type 2, there's hope. You can make it at least as far as I made it.
I like that preface.
I verified I have autism. I'm extremely high functioning, and I'm not saying that it has held me back. I do have ADHD to a very high degree, and that is why I'm explaining, because I did bounce around from quite a few jobs when I started.
Sure.
And a lot of it was, shiny thing and moving on. My bipolar disorder has been the real kicker, and the VA has had some struggles in finding me a place that I stay employed at, because my mood can shift very quickly. But I think the thing that really pulls me into it is a purpose.
Purpose, man.
And having the purpose, knowing that, I mean, I'm an addict. I am a suicide survivor. I don't feel a higher calling than to my fellow veterans and giving that hand back and trying to pay back what I've been given. And so working here, tried out. I tried taking the computers apart. It wasn't really for me. I moved over to eBay and sales, and I tried it for a while, and the customer relation aspect of that really wasn't for me. And then we had my first company meeting. We went in the training room, and so let me preface this a little bit. I did have a work at home job after I got out of the Army. I was still getting over some injuries from my last deployment. I was relearning how to walk, having memory issues, just not having a very good go of it. And so physically going to a job was not going to be possible to me. So I landed a remote job, work from home. And I actually worked for Xbox for 3 years, being a technical support rep at home, which was great. We get to play Xbox and look for bugs and flaws, and then answer the phone occasionally when somebody calls and has a problem. There is only so long that you can have 13-year-olds yell at you about their saved game file in GTA before you snap and yell back, which is what happened there. But I don't care about your shark card, you little click. And
Oh, this just reminds me of listening to ours while he's playing Fortnite, just all these little kids screaming at him, and I'm just like, yep, you're getting yelled at by a little kid.
Yep,
Like, he's not even old enough to buy milk.
yeah, he can't go to the store by himself. So, knowing all that, we in this meeting, Mark Casper, the CEO of Tech for Troops, said, really want to have a video game tournament. Who here? And my hand was up immediately. He didn't even finish the sentence. He got out video game and done. I'm in. And my questions were, what game? Where do you want to have it? How long do you want the tournament to be? What console are we playing it on? And so on and so
Goes
forth.
Tism sold. You, sir.
Exactly.
You get to take this on.
And he looked at me and he went, I don't know the answer.
I don't care about any of those things. I just
need like, go do it if you want. And I was like, well, I want this to be a whole program. He was like, do one first, and then maybe we can...
Easy, big guy.
Yeah.
Calm down. Calm down.
So we did our first, it was a Halo tournament at a local DAV. And it was fantastic. Mission Barbecue showed up and brought $700 worth of barbecue.
That's awesome.
And we had people, and it wasn't the biggest turnout I've ever had, but it was people that genuinely wanted to be there for the camaraderie of it all. They weren't there to get something. They showed up because they believed in the cause and they wanted to have a good time. And that was it. When I feel defeated or I start to feel dejected about where we are and our trajectory, or I get a no from somebody and I've really been counted, I think back to that event, and that really does it being the genesis of everything. It really does hold a place in my heart, and I think it gave us.
You mean like Sega Genesis?
You got that, did you?
Bravo.
I love that you guys are the smart ones.
What does that say for the rest of the world? That you're saying we're the smart ones.
So, Jason, let's close this thing out with what do you want this thing to become? And let's you take it as far as you want, or keep it as grounded in the immediate future. Like, as you think about this and think about how your role has evolved since you started with Tech for Troops to where you are now, and where you would love to see this, or you're starting to see it move. And then what do you need in order to be able to achieve that?
I want to see this, and I want to see GameCore become the authority on how gaming and mental health work together, at least for veterans. I think that there's a lot that we need to educate the world on, and a lot that we need to educate the people that even interact with us on. And it's not you need to know this and here it is. It's the methods of interacting with us, and that, maybe video games are the most successful way to reach a veteran in a certain crisis. But it's not excluding them from your reach. It's a matter of meeting them on their level. We talk about joining somebody at a place in their journey where they're ready to receive that. And I think when people come and they try to help veterans, when they are in that mode where they're going to give that hand up, there's a lot of effort and energy that is spent, that people expend on doing it on their terms. And I think that while your heart may be in the right spot, and I believe, and you believe that you're doing something good, to take a moment, consider where the person you're trying to help is coming from, and considering how best for you to be heard. The reason that I go back to video games every time is I mean, quite frankly, it's how my father talked to me, and it's how his father talked to him. Not video games specifically, but if we needed to have a conversation, we were never going to sit down across from each other and stare into each other's eyes. It was always going to be go to a ball game and find something that we can be engaged in while having that conversation.
And you can talk about how much the Dodgers suck.
Absolutely. So I think a major part of it is to help the veteran understand that it's something you're doing for and because of them, that you're not just checking some do-gooder box off in your list, and you're not trying to bend them to fit them somewhere in your mold. You're trying to help them or save them from something they're doing that they may not see or may not realize.
Yeah, meet them where they're at.
And I try not to use that phrase just because it is used
so overused
so frequently.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
it's wherever you are. That's where I want to come to you. I want to meet with you, and I don't want you to ever. There should never be a solution that you're going to present that doesn't not start with video games. Yeah. And the reason why I would encourage you for that, listening to you talk about it and seeing the home that you've made, right, for yourself,
which is awesome,
which is incredible.
Thank you.
Right? Is that that's your lane, that's your flavor. And the only way that we do this is that if I can come and bring a connection through physical fitness, right? Or if somebody's going to come and they're going to come through the avenue of the UFC, or they're going to come through the avenue of gaming, right? We need all of them to connect on everybody, because we don't know what hook is finally going to actually hook them.
And if you bring any of those people in, I got a video game for that.
Right? For sure.
I got a UFC video game.
Yeah.
I got a racing video game. I got a Warships video game. I mean, I'm that guy. If you go through my backpack right now, I guarantee you there will be at least two things. There will be a Batman comic and a video game controller. I am willing to bet you whatever money is in my bank account right now, not knowing what's in that backpack, I guarantee there's a Batman comic and a video game controller.
See, I respect him even more because he led with Batman. Not with there's a game controller. Batman is in my bag.
That was prioritized. Are we grabbing the backpack?
Just while we're on the air.
Because Batman is the shit.
We need to pull it out, and we need to...
Guess what's in the bag, ladies and gentlemen? Brought to you by autism.
All right. So, first of all, we know there's a video game controller.
Boom.
Yep.
There it is.
Xbox video game controller. Little portable one. And, yep, of course.
Look at that.
My man right here. My heart just was so
Batman
happy.
Urban Legends.
Batman Urban
I told
Legends.
You, not knowing what was in there, there would at least be a Batman comic and a video game controller.
Do you need mental health professionals?
Absolutely.
I imagine this is now the thread.
Personally, yes.
Yes. Well, it's been over an hour if you haven't figured that out, ladies and gentlemen.
So many of them.
No, right? This is the thread. This is the needle that you need to thread now, right? Where it is, we have the mechanism, we have the delivery, which is video games.
So one of the really cool things that we do is that we are staffed by volunteers, veteran volunteers, or veteran family volunteers as well. And everybody that volunteers, in addition to being vetted through watching their streams for a considerable amount of time and making sure they know what they're doing online, they also take the VA Saves course, which is suicide intervention. Now, as helpful as that is, and as much as I will never put one of our volunteers out there on their own with at least a little preparation, I would never hang them out like that. It is always fantastic to get somebody that comes from that background. So we are very clear. We are not therapists. We are not pharmacy people. We are not psychiatrists. We run parallel to mental health care.
Right.
So while we do have some group sessions in video games, and we can check off attendance for group therapy sessions, and we do work with some special programs like VR programs, and we've been recommended through behavioral therapy, we are not those people that bring that to you. So we will work with your behavioral therapist, with your mental health care, but we are not that person in specific. So the more people that we could get that would volunteer their time having those certifications, that really does help us out quite a bit. And we wouldn't throw you under the bus as being our sole therapist or something like that. You absolutely can just be a moderator, or just drop in every so often. Your expertise is valued as well.
And if I'm a listener and I want to be able to support the mission, I don't have a medical background, I don't have any of the mental health stuff as my background, but I still want to support, I believe, in what you're trying to do. How do I do that? What's the best way?
Join us on Discord. That is huge, and that's going to keep you updated of all of the ongoing stuff, streams and events that we're having. Please go check out tech4troops.org. In the mental wellness section is GameCore, and that's going to have a list of our upcoming events as well as a donate button to GameCore's PayPal. That does help us, as well as equipment. If you have some used gaming equipment that you are moving on from, we are happy to take it. You can send it in a give back box, which is also on the Tech for Troops website under donate. Or if you are a company and you would like to partner with us and get your brand out there, have us sponsor, again, please reach out to Game Master at tech4troops.org.
And share what you, with the nice, lovely people listening and watching us, share about one of the cool partnerships you shared with us that's happening out with Nintendo.
So we are working right now. There is a very, I'm trying to think how I want to phrase this. A very conveniently placed VFW that it is right between the American campus for Nintendo and the American campus for Microsoft. So there is this ideally placed VFW that a longtime supporter of ours, Rob Crombie, who is a big wig over there at Nintendo USA, is very excited about supporting us with, and Nintendo is eager to build that bunker there. Nintendo also has a program that they are very excited about, and that is veterans building video games together as therapy for the experiences that they've been through. I will do my best to find some follow-up information and get that to John so that he can put the links in there.
Without a doubt. Jason, this was awesome.
Beyond awesome. And I have a feeling you're going to thank me, but don't, because thank you.
100% we are going to thank you. You've been the hostest with the mostest.
Oh.
And I can't wait to keep watching. And hopefully we get to have you on and update. And you have graciously given us a camera.
Donated, yeah.
So we now have a HD video camera that we're going to be able to get our podcast now in video format.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry to all of our listeners for what's about to happen.
The part is that we can Wi-Fi that too. So when we start broadcasting tournaments out of Salute, we can have you guys join in video too.
Well, ham sandwich. I love everything about
There
this.
we go.
Jason, thanks again, brother.
Told you not to thank me because thank you.
There you go.